It's been a little while since I've done deadlifts. Since the last time I've done deadlifts, I've changed a few things around. And so I was really interested to see how the deadlift is going to feel. Mainly, I've started doing cable work. So lots of tricep extensions, bicep curls. And both I feel like are going to contribute to my tightness at the start of the deadlift. Interesting to say that, like who would have thought tricep extensions would have any effect when it comes to the starting position of the deadlift. But I feel like that armpit musculature, serratus anterior, teres major, minor, lat, like all of that underneath the armpit, what's going to cause the shoulders to depress. All of that musculature gets really worked when you're pushing down in the tricep push downs. I felt it the moment I started doing it. I was like, man, I feel like this is going to translate to the deadlift. Today is the first time that I've tried the deadlift and it feels a little bit better, although I won't know until I start really pushing the deadlift hard again to see. But from what I feel, I do feel kind of tight at the start. I don't feel strong. My groin is bothering me in the start of the deadlift, which is another little take-home message from today. The squat is feeling a lot better. But still the deadlift is feeling off in the groin. So it's now, we're talking 3 months now probably of extended management of this groin problem. Now previously I would be very upset, frustrated, I want to quit, all those type of negative thoughts. But in my mind, after all these years of training, I look at this as a nice little level up moment. I reckon when I address this groin issue, I will take another step in strength. This is forcing me to address things, to think about things. And I reckon once I address this groin issue, then I reckon the body will be able to take another step. Because if you think about what happened in November and December, I made some unbelievable progress. And with that large step forward, there's probably something that I've left behind. And so I've now got a new rate limiting step, a new thing that I need to address to make sure that everything is equal at this level. The groin, interesting, I went wide with the squat and I feel like I've been punished very badly by going wide. When I go wide, I feel like I can step more upright in the squat, and I've really loved how that felt, and I really loved how that kind of translated to the squat, to the deadlift, and also the wide squat has improved a fair bit. But then when I went back to narrow, my groin was pissed off, and I've kind of lost that range of motion. And loading up, good weight on the narrow stance squat is really, really pissed off the groin. Today I tried something else. I tried using the SSB bar, like sitting at the bottom of the squat and just like bouncing and feeling that stretch. And I definitely feel that groin, probably adductor magnus. Feel it stretching, feel it kind of grabbing, catching. When I'm fully in the ATG position, fully rounded back, I really feel that adductor. You'll see it here. I did 3 sets of like a couple of minutes of this. Feels good. It feels like, this is exactly where the problem is, ATG. I've never really had problems with this in the past. It's only when I started doing parallel squats that this became a problem. So I've gained something and I've lost something. So like net gain is 0 really. 1 step forward, 1 step back, and if you ask me, where would I rather be? I would rather be in this position and never have wide. So I've learned something there. It just goes to show that I have a weakness in the hips. The adductors, I still feel like are the big dog in this whole compound. Everyone talks about quads and glutes and whatnot. I really think the adductors are kind of like that underdog or undercover boss. It's not the celebrity. It's not what catches everyone's talks and everyone's, attention. But I really think the adductors are really the conductors, if you know what I mean. They are running the show. And so when your adductors feel off and tight, you lose positioning of the pelvis at the bottom. You get pelvic rounding, lower back rounding, caused by the pelvis bottoming out and not having enough room. If it's weak, you're not going to basically get any position because you're going to be so tight through the adductors of the groin. So like when people say the groin, really what we're talking about is the adductors. And the adductors they have multiple different functions at multiple different levels of hip flexion. So you can go to the good girl, bad girl machine and do a lot of that squeezing for the adductor, but I don't really think that's where it is. The adductors are trained through hip extension and knee flexion. So anything that the hamstring is involved in, the adductor is involved in as well. Hip flexion, right, as well. Like if you were to do marching, I feel my groin. So there's a lot going on there. I need to unpack this. I feel like until I address the groin, I'm not going to be able to progress. Like I'm pumping up all this volume in the squats and it's okay, but like I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable and I feel it. It's not pain, like stopping me, but it's there. And I don't like that. And that's not going to give me confidence to load up a lot of weight and push and attack. So right now I'm kind of just existing. You know, I'm chasing other things where I can chase. Right now in the squats and deadlifts, I can't chase. I'm thinking about going back to abduction as well. You know, during that time, my groin felt really good. But the interesting thing is in all of this, I don't really have hip pain anymore. I've got groin pain now. So interesting. When I was doing a lot of abduction work, I was fighting hip pain. Never had any groin pain. Now there's no hip pain. Now I've got groin pain, and it's like it's a real head scratcher. Like I've just traded one problem for another, but there's always a problem. Anyway, I'll keep chipping away at it. I'll keep experimenting, and keep looking for that common pattern that I can use to address all this stuff. I think right now hamstring curls feel really good. These pause squats feel really, really good. And I'll just keep at it. And maybe I'll need to draw my stance in the squat a little bit more just to get that groin firing properly again. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.